business on display. Yeah, 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 yeah. We gon' put your business on display. I got winners on the way. You know you can't knock the hustle. And if you gotta get in place, then we gon' put your business on display. Grab a seat with Neesha for a minute. And if you got the goods, we can talk about your business. She know what it's like to make a move independently. And I don't fake us like that. We've been trusting God like that. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, we gon' put your business on display.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Happy Wednesday. We are here with Neesha's Network every Wednesday at 12 noon Central Standard Time, and we're super excited about being here. I'm always excited about the guests that are coming to put their business on blast and display and just really share. Today, my very special guest, I had the privilege of growing up with this beautiful woman of God, anointed and appointed. As many of you all probably remember, her phenomenal mom, who is resting in glory, probably up there tearing the house down. None other than Apostle Joanne Long, and I am grateful that my sister friend, who I think we were young teenagers growing up together and worshiping together and just fellowship in our families, and that is none other than Dr. Kim Allen. Welcome, Kim.
Hey, sis, I wanted to keep saying, we go put your business on display.
Yes, we're very grateful for that little tune.
Well, thank you for you and your husband and all your good works that you do to not only help relationships and marriages, but to help us all work it out on Wednesday. So I'm excited to be here with you.
Thank you so much. So I want to give a little bit of a history. So we've been clubbing basically the last couple months. I mean, everybody knows what clubbing, because I've been talking about it. We've been on Clubhouse, and I believe God opened that door to expand and broaden our horizon and expand our territory. I believe that is what it's for. And so I fell into a room with Kim, and I was like super excited. And of course, you can watch people, your relationships, they expand, and you can watch people from afar. But I've been watching what she's doing. And so I want her to give a little history about yourself, and just tell us a little bit about your background and what you do. And then the name of your business is what we're going to talk about today. So,
well, first of all, I love that Clubhouse has reunited. And
yes. Yes. It was so good. Yes.
It has reunited so many people back together, and then opened up new relationships and other relationships. So I'm excited about that platform. Like, I just feel like a lot of the things that we have been seeking, dreaming, desiring is all coming into fruition, right? This is the season where we're experiencing like exponential growth, and that we're able to help people even more, And so I'm excited about Clubhouse, or any platform that can allow our voice, because we have a voice and it matters, but can also allow us to spread as much wisdom and as much knowledge as possible for people to live life well and be better, like in every aspect of their life, spiritually, mentally, relationally, physically, and financially. So this is a wonderful time that we're living in. Even though some of us have experienced some of our loved ones progressing on, and even in this pandemic, we've experienced lots of sorrow. One thing I've found is that we're resilient.
Yes.
That we have such a bounce back spirit, and anything, it has made me love people even more. I'm like, look at them bouncing back. Look at them like coming back alive.
That's so good.
Isn't it, right?
That is so good. And thinking about that, so many people have had to reset their whole entire lives and actually learn what's most important. And I think that that's what's veering us off into our topic today, is that mind, body, and spirit. But that body piece is so important. We know we're the temple of the Holy Spirit, and we're supposed to be living epistles, and people are watching what we're doing and how we're bouncing back. But many of us don't really have the wherewithal or the tools to bounce back. So today I want you to share about the name of your business and just what made you decide to go into this field. So tell us, she's Dr. Kim Allen, you guys. So a holistic nutritionist, you know, a PhD in all of the things holistic. And so just share with us the name of the business and why you got started.
Sure. It's called Keep It Moving. And my website is actually keepitmovingwithkim.com. I just absolutely believe that over 20 years ago, that I was inspired by God himself to to break my name down into acronyms. So the K is for keep, the I is for it, and the M is for moving, because I desire to help people keep it moving in every aspect of their life, but especially nutrition, especially their food. You know, I call my own self the food doctor because I get into this lab called the kitchen and I create these prescriptions and recipes so people can live life well and so that they can live longer. And I just believe that I was created for this. Like, from the time that I was younger, I've always been inquisitive. I've always asked lots of questions. I've always loved research. I had parents that did not permit television watching, but encyclopedias, highlights, books all during a week, right? And so I was always fascinated when I dived into the encyclopedias and all of these books. I was always fascinated about anatomy and the body and food and the mouth and digestion. So from young, you know, I feel like my parents always like had this atmosphere of learning and creativity that was available to us. And then I had parents that was into, I want the best quality as possible. Even when it came to meat, my mother was like, I want grade A, or I want, you know, they knew the butcher. What quality or cut of meat are you getting for me? Going to the farms. And so all of that, you know, always sparked interest because our parents kept us with them, you know, wherever they go. So I'm always like, well, what is this? Well, why did you choose this? Or what is this? And so it kind of like began there. And then my parents were even parents that did like Amway and different things like that had like biodegradable detergent. So I learned early that it's not just what you put in your body, but it's what you put on your body. So they were into that. So that sparked the interest. And then being around some of my loved ones, including my adopted sister Cooley, my father, mother, godparents, if they had any type of ailment or disease, I found myself there nurturing or being some type of nurse or wanting to make them feel better. And what can I do to make you feel better? It was like, what can I do to make you? I felt like I needed to do something. Yes, I prayed. Yes, we all prayed. Right. Have faith. Yes, we believe in God, but it got to be something that I can do. It got to be something that I can add to you not having to have pains and groanings and torture. And what can I do? So I can read. I can see what I can create. I can see how I can add to the quality of your life, to the longevity of your life. So that's what I began to do, whether it was for my father, my adopted sister, or even my mother. And so that is a lot and a part of my journey.
Now, you know, what's very interesting is that we just left a clubhouse room and we were actually able to hear testimonials of things that happened short term, just in a couple of days or just in a week or two, of the changes that were taking place in people's bodies, that the doctors gave them a different report from some of the things that you implemented and shared with them. So, you know what? So the name of the business is Keep It Moving with Kim.com. So if you guys are interested, go to that right now. We'll reiterate it again at the end of our interview today. But when you started very young, but you went to school. So tell us a little bit about your journey of actually tapping into understanding about holistic.
Sure. So as I said, that my father, he passed away with HIV. And diabetes. After he passed away with HIV, diabetes, during the time, let's talk about during the time, he had to have certain nutrition. He had to have a certain protocol. Back then, there were not many things that were open and available, because that was like in the 80s, that was open and available, like late 80s, early 90s, to people who were diagnosed with AIDS, with HIV.
Right, I remember.
So my mother, she sought out whatever herb or whatever she can do, however she can prepare his food. So I'm in the kitchen and I'm preparing food with her. And
wow.
so doing those food things, and I'm watching him. I'm watching what we need to bag away, what we need to take away, how you can be in the presence of someone with it, but how to be careful. So I was going to the library and I was studying and doing study on autoimmune deficiency then, and autoimmune diseases then. And I was 14, 15 years old. And so I was able to help my mom on that journey during that time. So after he passed away, my mother was still in the practice of searching and looking out different things. And I was right there with her. Like, what? I want to know too. I want to read too. Like, I want to see how I can learn too. And so I began certain certifications through things like Nature Sunshine, or Melaleuca, like all of these different things that had. And then I'm like, I don't want to just learn it and know it. I want to be excellent in it. Like God rewards those that diligently seek, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, I want my reward to be a certification. I want my reward to be degrees, so I can help someone, so that I can, to my highest ability to learn or to soak up and absorb, so I can help somebody else and let someone else. I am going to do that. So I started seeking out certifications until it was available for us to get degreed, because state laws and world laws did not always permit for us to even be degreed in this area. So only certifications were available. So every year I sought out at least 2 to 3 certifications in different healing modalities so I can have them.
So I'm gonna pause you right there. So starting out, you're getting these certifications and different things like that. What is the one big thing, if you could name one big thing that stands out to you the most in terms of like the first healthiest thing that you would go to, or you would refer people to go to make a change?
Yes, I could tell you this simple thing: drinking water.
Water. I know you was gonna say it. I know you were gonna say it.
You already know me, sis. Drinking water.
That water, come on through. Yeah.
Like, I mean, that we are water, okay? We are 80% water. Our brain sits in water. Our organs, who we are, is water. Our body responds to water. When that shower hits you, and then it's that right temperature, it even revives you and pulls tiredness out of your body. When you emerge and you soak in water and you do a detox bath, what does that do for you? Even when you see water, when you hear it, like, it does something for your spiritual, your mental, everything. And so water, whether you're ingesting it, whether you're putting it on your body, water is like pivotal. I'm like, that's the easiest, most cost-effective thing that we can all do, is up our water intake. And enough of us, don't even drink the amount of water that we can in a day. Sometimes I can notice it, even myself, with saying drink water. I love water. I keep water around me. And that's what I tell people. In every room, have water.
Water. Okay. I
have it everywhere. I mean, even I line my bed with water. Water, bathroom, it's everywhere. Like,
okay, so let's talk about that for a minute. Now, I just want to break into the water thing for a minute, because first, the regular water is good, right? I live in Frankfurt, so that water is not the greatest well water. But so we get the name brand water on the machine. But everybody's selling water with electrolytes, and then this water is not good, and then that water is not good, and this is the best one. Would you just say break it down to regular water, or are you saying that some waters are better than others? I mean, what do you think about that? Everybody they're selling water differently, like $20 a bottle now.
Yeah. Well, first of all, what I say to people is, if any soda company is selling water, like, don't make that be your first choice. And I say that because you have Dasani out there and so many other waters. Not that I want to, start naming names, but you have certain waters that just don't come from a pure source. And so I'll let you know the waters that I suggest. What about that?
Okay, go to Keep It Moving with Kim. Schedule your consultation. We're going to move on from the water.
No, let me just give you the water.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll give you.
I didn't know you was going to tell it now. Okay, tell it now then.
Yeah, Evermore. Mountain Valley Spring Water. It's in a green glass bottle. And Evermore and Eternal and Fiji. These are just some of the natural spring waters that I like. So Evermore. Let me see, Mountain Valley Spring, Eternal. These are the waters. They're my preference.
Okay, yes. I'm reading some of the chat. People are chatting. So Dr. Ruby Powell said hello. She said, hey, Mel. And, yes, water. People are just commenting on the water. So yes, so you guys, these are some of the suggestions for the water. But I want to talk about.
Wait, who did you say? You said Dr. Ruby Powell?
Yes.
Hello. A faithful member for years. How are you and the family? God bless you.
Yes. So anyway, you guys, I know because we'll be chatting with everybody for sure. But, so the water is very key. So I'm going to jump a little bit and say, what would be the second thing that people could do differently?
Yes, making sure of the times that they're eating. Fasting, like food impacts and improves mood. So what time are you eating? Working with the rhythm of your body. And so a lot of things are tied to the time that you eat and what you eat. So I would say if everybody can drink their breakfast, launch their lunchtime, meaning lunchtime launches you. So make sure that that's your biggest meal of the day in the middle of the day, because you have enough time to use that food as fuel. So it won't just sit there. And in the evening, dinner is thinner. Dinner is always thinner. That is not the time to eat your biggest meal at dinner.
Okay.
That's my second thing. Intermittent fasting, knowing what time to eat and knowing what to eat during those times. So that's my second thing after water.
Okay, so intermittent fasting, you do recommend intermittent fasting.
I do recommend intermittent fasting. Water, intermittent fasting, and sleep. Water, intermittent fasting, and sleep. And of course, I'm gonna say something about exercise and movement. But
that's right. Got to keep it moving, right?
Got to keep it moving. Okay, so just those 4 simple things,
Yeah. Those are some really good tips. So what made you really passionate about the field in terms of being holistic? What made you passionate to the point that you took a step further and you made it your business?
Oh yeah. I call myself the preacher and a practitioner.
Love it.
A couple of things. Besides me saying my father needed women's needs. My adopted sister had 60% of her stomach taken out due to stomach cancer. I had a godmom that died of diabetes and a godmom that died of breast cancer. So having this all around me and seeing their bodies actually decompose while they're alive and go through certain transitions and transformations made me want to stay on a routine and a ritual of health and wellness. And I actually saw my not only did my godmom have diabetes, but she actually died of a pharmaceutical reaction, an allergic reaction to pharmaceuticals, which made me say, so each instance in my life, each event or experience in my life just molded me and navigated me to do something different, to take a different path, to take another path. So when I saw that what can be prescribed can also be poison, and to watch what you're ingesting and what you're taking, even when you take it from the doctors. We sit in front of the TV sometimes and we see these commercials because we have something going on, right? And it'll say to breathe better, to not have allergies.
Yes.
Take this, but the side effects can be death later.
Yes.
Liver. And I'm like, you making me breathe, but I can die later?
Right.
like what? Like your hair may fall out. I mean, like anything, like the side effects just be like too much. So I'm like, well, I want to dive in and see what's going on. And then the other thing is that I had 2 children. And this is what made me want to do it even for me, because and I'm just going to say this because there are times where this has happened to me, because you can preach something, but not practice what you preach.
Okay.
You can coach somebody,
Yeah.
but you're not always doing what you need to do,
yes.
As you're coaching. So what made me get locked in and say, no, I want to do this, was having 2 children and breastfeeding them. So I breastfed them 2 years each. And when I breastfed them, I found that I had to be very strict in my routine so that they could get the benefits. So eating strict and making sure that they had everything they need made me feel better. And I'm like, wait a minute, this does this and this does this. Not only am I going to stay on this myself, but I'm going to also add and help others, like just, live life well and just do it even the better and do it even stronger. And then what put the fire under me was my mom. I mean, I cannot tell you the heart and the love that I have for her as a mentor, as a spiritual mom, as an employer, as a companion, as someone who was just a loving person. And to hear she had 2 weeks, but she had over 2 years, she said, I'm going to die when I want to die, when I say I'm going to die. Because, she was just that person. But we helped her with our prayers, but the food, the nutrition, the herbs that I brought over that helped push her through, and to see it in front of my eyes, pushing her past the 2 weeks that they said, made me say, okay, so now that I have, this is what I'm supposed to do. My niche is actually helping people live longer than what they're supposed to, adding to the quality and the longevity of their life. So I said, I'm going to make somebody, mother, be able to live longer, father be able to live longer, godparents, sisters. All of these people have gone on and progressed on in life for me, but I can help someone else have it longer. And so God graced me even more to be able to do it. So,
well, I have a few questions here. One person asked, does intermittent fasting depend on the body type?
It does. It absolutely does depend on the body type. So normally when I consult with someone, that's when I'll put them into their own cycle of intermittent fasting and let them know what they need to do. I always address people about a few things: where they live, their demographic of where they live, their gender, their culture, their age, their weight, their height. Everything is based upon that. So not just the body type, but everything that I just talked to you about. That's how I set a person and let them know what they should be doing and what they should be eating. However, breakfast is always a beverage. Breakfast is always a beverage. But my intermittent fasting is different based upon those things that I share with you.
So tell me why you say demographics makes a difference.
Sure, because when it's cold or when it's hot, you're supposed to eat seasonally, and you're supposed to switch some of the things that you're eating based upon the seasons that you're in. And so that's why I say, where you live is different. Like, you can live in a tropical place, in a tropical island where you see all those fruits and things growing all the time. That's what they're supposed to be eating. Like, things that cool the body, because they live in heat all the time. Right? We have all seasons, so we have the ability to switch our food per seasons. But if someone lives in Alaska or someplace where it's cold all the time, are they supposed to be eating cold stuff? No. They're supposed to be eating things that warm up the body, they keep the body warm. And and to have that balance. So that's why I said where you live makes a difference with what I suggest to you to eat and what your protocol will be.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. I never heard anybody say that before. I guess it makes sense because we go to stews and chilies in the winter, but in the spring and the summer, we say, let's make tuna fish or let's do this. So I want to move a little bit and asking you a little bit about meat, because I did notice you had a lot of things talking about vegan on your website, as well as, you know, some of your advertisement. So I just want to ask you, how do you feel about it? And I'm just going to stop there. How do you feel about it? Because let me say why. Okay, so let me tell you why. So I know there's a book called Eat for Your Body Type, and basically I've been told meats and proteins and vegetables are my go-to, as opposed to dairy and the different other things. And I know that dairy produces inflammation. I found that to be true, and different things like that. So tell me a little bit about how you feel about meat. Let's just talk meat for a minute.
All right. So, what's your blood type?
I'm O positive.
Okay. So you're a carnivore. So you're a hunter. So it's in you to
And I'm
want.
not a meat lover.
You said you're not?
Meat lover. I'm not a big meat lover.
Well, that's good.
But I noticed that when I eat more protein meat, that I have a tendency to lose faster.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So there are things that you can like switch and put in its place. I'll tell you why I've been saying more lately that I practice a plant-based lifestyle more than vegan or vegetarian, because all vegans and vegetarian aren't necessarily making the healthiest choices.
Right. Right.
Because you're missing the B12 and certain things that meat has, it makes you desire carbs more, chips more, cookies more, sugar more. And you feel like just because you're not eating meat and you're saying you're a vegan, you're healthy, and that's not the case.
Okay.
So you plant-based is making sure you make plant choices, not things that are made in a plant, but things that grow out of the ground. It's making sure that you're doing herbs. It's making sure that you're doing those leafy greens. It's making sure you're doing fruit. It's making sure that you're doing things with seeds in it, you know, not just processed. And so you'll find a lot of vegans or vegetarians grabbing for processed stuff just because it's not meat.
Right.
So that's why I say make sure you do plant-based. And then you have to replace what you've been used to, because if we grew up on, if it's in, you know, in our blood and our tissues, these certain foods, then we got to make sure that you are replacing it with nutrition. I mean, super dense nutrition, right? To satisfy anything that in any area that you can be deficient in. And once you satisfy those deficiencies, then you will find that you won't crave for some of the things that we grew up on. You won't crave for meat because you're getting it from its natural sources, natural plant sources. And so I say to anybody, seek as much plant sources as you can. Satisfy your cells, feed the cells, nourish the cells so you can live life well, right? And then you won't crave certain things. And then they put sugar in meat. They put sugar in the cookies and the chips and the sauces and the stuff. They put sugar in it, so you'll keep grabbing it off the shelf. So you'll keep getting it. Sugar is like heroin. It's like drugs. It's like, you know, you have to have it once you keep at it, and you have to break the cycle of sugar. Yeah. And eat as much and eat as less sugar as possible, and then you'll stop craving for those things. So that is just my take on meat. That is my take on vegan, vegetarian, plant-based. That's why I push plant-based so long, you know, and so much, and for as many years as I have. I've seen the results in my life.
Okay, so you know what, you guys, we are here with Keeping It Moving with Kim.com, Dr. Kim Allen, and she has given us so many rich, simple and practical ways to really improve our health, and not only with water, not only with exercise, not only with intermittent fasting, but you would have to call her for a consultation. Go to the website, keepitmovingwithkim.com, so you can find out what your body type needs. And then talking about the different nutrients that we need. And one of the biggest things I know is a big culprit is people eating processed foods, anything that is processed. So I know that it's time to shift that process and eat things, everything God made, right? Instead of the plant that grew up out the ground. So anyway, this has been amazing. I want to ask you, Kim, what practical life lesson can you share with people that has really helped people? And then I wanted you to give a testimonial of some of the products and different things that you have of what you've seen happen. You can't hear me? Can you hear me? I don't know what happened. You can't hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Oh my goodness. I don't know what happened. Let's see. Can you hear me? Oh my goodness. I don't know what happened, you guys. Well, we're here with keeping it moving with Kim.com, and we are having some audio visual difficulties. I'm going to text you and ask you to go out and come back in. Hold on one second. Hold on, you guys. Hold on one second. All right. Okay. So we're going to let Dr. Kim go out and come back in. In the meantime, you guys, this has been a super, super duper great interview. So we're going to let her back in and see if this will help matters. Can you hear us? You can hear me? I cannot hear you. Isn't that something? That's okay. I can read. We're going to, well, you know what? Try it one more time. Try it one more time. Go out and come back in and we'll see what happens. Okay. All right, guys, we're going to keep allowing Dr. Kim to go out and come back in. If not, we're going to go ahead and end the interview. Let's see if this works, you guys. All right. No, is something wrong with your sound? Oh my goodness. Well, listen, I am going to just say that it's been an amazing interview. You guys check out Dr. Kim Allen with keepitmovingwithkim.com. Make sure you guys, everybody's saying, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. Oh no. All right, you guys. Huh? I don't know, you guys. Oh, this has never happened to me before. This has never happened before. Okay, well, we're going to come back, you guys. So we will be back. It says the host muted the mic. No, I didn't. I didn't mute the mic. We're not muted. Well, you guys, it's been a great day. We're going to try to come back in a few minutes. We'll be right back. All right? Hold on one second.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, we gon' put your business on display. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, we gon' put your business on display. I got winners on the way. No, you can't knock the hustle. And if you gotta get in place, then we gon' put your business on display. Grab a seat with Neesha for a minute. And if you got the goods, we can talk about